Hey guys, today we're going to talk about interactive video conferencing in the education world. First off, we have to ask ourselves, what is interactive video conferencing? The acronym is IVC, so if you hear me refer to that later, I'm just talking about interactive video conferencing. First of all, the definition says that it connects two or more sites via audio and video using video conferencing equipment. The video conferencing equipment that you would need would definitely be a webcam, and if your webcam does not have a microphone built in, you would also need an additional microphone, and then of course some kind of screen to project yourself onto. IVC is used to hold conferences, meetings, classes, workshops, and one-on-one scenarios. We know that FaceTime is one use of interactive video conferencing, and that's for personal use, but it's used for personal reasons, business world reasons, educational world reasons, and we'll get into that later. IVC also gives participants the opportunity to see, hear, and share information in real time. So even if someone can't be there, this is a solution so that you have the conversation that you need to have, being able to hear that person's voice, see that person's face, and see their body language. So, the different video conferencing brands, the most popular one that I could find was Skype. And in this research that I did, I came across Mystery Skype, and I was not aware of it until I did this presentation. Mystery Skype is a game under the Skype brand where it connects classrooms across the world. It will connect two classrooms together, and the classrooms have to guess where each other is located. I feel like that would be an awesome game for any classroom age of any kind. Zoom is used for Virtual Arkansas a lot of times. ooVoo is also used in schools, and so is LifeSize. And then there's also many more brands or companies that are not in the educational realm. Now, how can interactive video conferencing be used in education? The answer is there are a multitude of ways. One of the first ways is it can create a flipped classroom, so it can put a lot of the responsibility onto the students. It can support teachers because teachers from across the country or across the world that are using the same curriculum, they can help each other just by having a conversation by being connected through this IVC. It also creates a more personalized learning experience for the students. So if a student is interested in something like, say, volcanoes, then they can have a conversation with a volcano specialist and learn more about that. This is a great tool for virtual field trips. The teacher can take the class on a virtual field trip to a zoo or a local museum or a non-local museum, and it would cut costs in the fact of doing this because you would be able to take the whole class and you wouldn't have to leave the classroom at all. It also brings experts into the classroom. So in one of the articles that I found, it said that teachers are contacting businessmen, scientists, people of all professions, and they're FaceTiming them or Zooming them or Skyping them into their classrooms where the scientists are doing lab experiments in front of the students, or the students are able to see what a businessman does. And I think that that's fantastic. This technology enables classrooms to work with other classrooms around the world. They can work on joint projects. One article that I read said that during the Rio Olympics, there was a classroom that used this technology to teach English to children in Brazil. All right. For parent-teacher conferences, it could make it easier because sometimes parents can't come to the school physically to meet with you. This gives the teachers and the parents another option to be able to talk to each other face to face without actually being in the same room. Also for teacher administrator meetings, such as when we have to do our PGP goals or even PLC meetings, you could use this tool if a teacher could not be there, And also, as far as the administration goes, if he or she was having to schedule many meetings with each of the teachers, then there wouldn't be as much of a time constraint, because you wouldn't have to walk down there, you wouldn't have the commute time, you wouldn't have to go to the school. So that is one way that many schools around the country are using it. All right, another one that I really thought was interesting was that some schools are using this technology to bring assemblies into the classroom. So that means that instead of taking the students out in the hall, walking them to the auditorium or the cafeteria or the gym, the administrator, the principal, whoever's doing the assembly just projects into all of the classrooms and does it that way. And I find that very interesting, and I think that I would really enjoy assemblies if they were done like that. All right. Also, one article that I read said that this technology connects students with disabilities to the classroom. So some students have disabilities where they cannot be in the classroom every single day, but if they had this technology, then they could be in class without actually having to physically be in class. Then, some schools are using this for school-wide or district PD. So it would be the same as the the teacher administrator meetings, where they would just send this to the teachers, or whoever needs this on campus, and just project themselves throughout the school, all at the same time. So there are benefits of using interactive video conferencing to the students and to the school. One is it adds value and relevancy to the lessons. So if you are having issues connecting this to the real world, using this technology would be a great way to do it. It connects the students and the school globally. Like I mentioned earlier, with this technology, you could be in Arkansas talking to someone in China, or, somewhere else in the United States or any other country in the world. And I think that that's amazing. Okay. It said that this technology develops communication skills because the students need to know how to communicate verbally, and they need to know how to listen. And we all know that some students are lacking in communication skills nowadays. Okay. This technology also prepares students for mobile and remote working conditions. So in one of the articles that I read, there's more and more jobs going to mobile, or where they have to work off site, and this allows them to keep in touch with the company and with their boss. So by using this technology in the classroom, it actually prepares them for the real world. Like we mentioned earlier, this technology would break cultural barriers, because if you're talking to students from another country or another area that's not like yours, it opens students to see different perspectives. All right, this could increase student collaboration. One suggestion was that in a larger school where many teachers are teaching the same subject, you could have one class conference with another class, and they could grade each other's work, or they could each do a project and the other one give feedback on that project. As we mentioned earlier, this technology connects the content to the real world. So if you're bringing in a scientist or a businessman and you're showing them, hey, you will use this in this profession, that will make it real to the students. Okay, and if we can keep the students engaged, then more learning is happening. And as we know, students love videos. So this is one way that they would be able to learn without having to have paper and pencil. And then as we also mentioned, this technology could cut costs because you don't actually have to be somewhere in person. You can just do it virtually. So to summarize, interactive video conferencing opens doors for administrators, teachers, and students that were not possible before this technology existed. Administrators and teachers can implement this technology to help produce more roundly educated students. And as we know, if our students are educated, then that reflects well on the administrators. And if the teachers are using curriculum and supplementing it and making sure that the students are receiving the knowledge, then that also reflects well on administrators. So not only does this technology provide tools to make their life easier, such as the teacher administrator meetings or the school-wide PD, it also it's like a trickle effect. It would trickle down and affect everyone positively. Okay, and then last is my bibliography, and I did have 5 resources. All right, thank you for watching.